Alrighty, what is up, folks? My name is Melvin, and welcome back. It's actually been a while since I did this, and I'm trying to remember when the last time I did it. The last one I did, I didn't even upload yet, and I actually haven't looked back at it either. But after I did it, I felt a lot better. Felt more calm and accepting of myself, which is, I think, just something I'm struggling with my, just my age, I guess. I'm just not, I'm not super accepting of just where I am yet. Just because I was kind of expecting a lot more things, I guess. I was expecting a lot more of myself at this age. And I'm sorry if my throat sounds bad. Like I was out last night at a festival, so I'm kind of I'm a little exhausted from that. But I had a great time. Actually, you know what? I went to Shrek Fest. It's this festival, takes place in Wisconsin almost every year, just because last 2 years it got canceled due to COVID. So wasn't able to go to those. But I went to the one prior where it was in person, and I had a lot of fun, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting until the next one showed up. I got this shirt from Shrek Fest. So I guess this is Shrek right here as Homer Simpson, and then this is Bart Simpson, donkey, something. So yeah, I had a really good time. It was very enjoyable. I had a blast. But the one thing, so when you hear about Shrek Fest, and the people who understand what Shrek Fest is, they understand it. They know what it's about. There are people who maybe it's not their thing. It's not their style, and that's totally okay. That's totally fine. But what I love about the festival itself was that, hey, I got to go somewhere and be myself. So there are certain places like that for people, and that type of festival is kind of my jam, where the whole point of it, yes, it started as a joke, but jokes are a great way to meet new people. That's kind of how I see it, and I love it. It takes the elements of what I like about not only the movie, but just kind of the generation itself, the early 2000s, and just kind of puts it there. But then it also just takes random jokes from the internet and just kind of put it into reality. So one example was there was an onion eating competition, which I love, costume contest. You know who first place was for the costume contest? It was a person who had Kyle written on their shirt. Kyle won the costume contest. There was like a Puss in Boots character. There were princesses, all sorts of characters. But the one who won was Kyle, which is what you should expect from a convention that started from just an online Facebook group, But that's what I love about it. I love essentially what I was trying to describe my friends, the ones I invited, was that it's going to be a bunch of goofballs there. It's just people being a bunch of goofballs. And some of the people I invited, they're not goofballs. They're not willing to have the weird fun that I am. And what does weird fun mean? Just kind of means just kind of going with the joke and just kind of going with the crowd. If we all get excited for something, we're going to scream and shout, even if it's so mundane. I have footage as well of me, like getting excited to see Shrek. Let me see if I can find it. I haven't looked through any of my footage, so I don't even know how embarrassed I'm going to be to show it. But hey, it's that's something else I wanted to talk about today. It's just the older I get, the more accepting I'm just going to be of who I am. I'm just so tired of trying to change for people, So I just kind of want to be myself. Let me see if I can find. Where is Shrek? There we go. Oh man. There we go. So I'm just gonna try to show you. You won't be able to hear too much of it. No, my camera it won't let me. That's me in the tiny corner right there. I don't know if you hear that. It's Shrek though. Look. It's just me being excited over a guy in a Shrek costume. And I just love that. That's the part I love about life. You know, if I can find a way to encapsulate that in a bottle, then I absolutely totally would. But that's not easy. That's not an easy thing. You know, everything I say here, of course, is easier said than done. I feel like I have to remind myself that because something I'm really bad at doing is I will consistently say that I'm going to do something and then just never end up doing it. But the power of saying it is almost too powerful because then it ends up, you end up not doing what you set out to do. So I'm always very rare. That's why I always say easier said than done because I haven't done anything. I'm just saying things. But yeah, I had a great time. You know, that kind of festival is totally me. That's totally the kind of festivals I'd go to. The ones where I have a great time. Those where it's like, if the people there are having just as much fun as me, we're probably going to end up being really good friends. Like that's what I like. I love those festivals. Absolutely. Fun time. I even painted my nails green for the occasion. Shrek Fest green. I had face makeup and I had, what else? I had, Shrek on the, no, yeah, Shrek on this cheek and Lord Farquaad on the other cheek. Because I just thought that was hilarious. But yeah, that's kind of an update on me, myself, and I. I feel like the did I talk about this last time? I don't even remember. But I feel like the appreciation of silence it goes unmerited. Silence. I don't know if I said science before, but silence, I believe, is one of the most important tools we have to solving our problems that we don't utilize enough. Silence, you know, to me, silence is just when you're letting everything that happens absorb, whatever you're thinking, whatever it is you just did, silence. You're absorbing that. And something else that makes silence so powerful is when you're actually just doing nothing, just sitting down, or, I think that's why people really like when people drive long distances, they end up really liking it because that silence allows them to think. It allows them to kind of let life be as they're trying to process it, Something that makes life really difficult, especially during COVID, was just how you needed to keep thinking, keep going, keep your mind at the forefront, Like for me, I was always switching jobs and I was always like figuring out one job and then, at the same time trying to find a new job. But I was trying to find like two different kinds of jobs because I was trying to find one job in my career field, and then I was trying to find one that actually paid bills, So always thinking, always moving. And some people can do that flawlessly. I've seen people not struggle with that at all, at least from what I can see from the outward perspective. But yeah, I think I definitely struggle with what do I do if there's silence? Because I don't want to feel like I'm doing nothing. I want to feel as productive as possible. That's kind of, for me, that's what I would like for my end goal to be, is just, that the feeling that each day I've accomplished something of note, something that I could produce to other people. Because that's really, I've always tried to figure that out, how can I bring joy to other people? And I think my first career choice kind of explains that so well. So what I wanted to be as a young lad, a young boy, was I wanted to be the winner of American Idol. That was specifically what I wanted, was the winner of American Idol. And I think what makes that career choice at the time, so what that said about me was that not only did I want to have a talent that people could recognize, but it would bring them joy, it'd make them so happy. And I remember, because my mom used to watch the show and she bought, some of the CDs of some of the contestants and / winners. And sometimes we would talk about those past contestants. And it's like, oh, I wonder if they're making music. I wonder if I can see them live, stuff like that. That's really what I want. I do want to bring other people joy, my happiness, at least how I've treated it, pretty much my whole life, is just, hey, it's there, I've never really taken it for granted, appreciated it. Even to this day, it's just, for me, it's essentially, life is great, but what's next? That's kind of how I've treated life for such a long time. And I'm wondering now if that's just the way to see it, if that is the way to see it, or if it should be something else. A lot of these things I'm trying to figure out. I just remembered something. I remembered something I was going to do. I'm still really, really sorry from Shrekfest. I am so sorry. I do not have the energy. But anyways, something that I was thinking about was Hey, what if, because I've been trying to find a therapist and it's been kind of difficult actually. It's harder than I thought. I thought it was just going to be an easier process, just going to a clinic saying, "Hey, I want to sign up." But no, you got to do paperwork and it's just all this junk that I don't really want to do. But I thought of a great idea. I thought, hey, what if I prepare for a therapist? Because I've already been to therapy. I already know what kind of questions they might ask, what kind of things they want to know about me. And it's like, hey, what if I turn that into a video? What if or not even a video, what if I just gather up information about me and start talking about it and start analyzing analyzation, because at the end of the day, that is what therapy is. It's not their job to solve your problems. It at the end of the day, it is your job to solve the problems. They'll guide you, they'll give you advice, but you are supposed to figure out how to solve problems. So, and I think that's a great idea for me, because that would keep me productive. And then, hey, when I finally see a therapist, oh, I got all this thing to I wish there was some way I could just give them a book and just say like, hey, I've written a book about me. Do you want to read it? And then that way I don't have to spend 4 sessions, more or less, just you getting to know me. And then, hey, there's a book. Now you know me. It just saved you 4 sessions, But I know they don't do that. They don't. I don't think they spend a lot of time. Maybe it depends on the client or what kind of therapy it's going on, but they don't really focus on, you. They don't focus on you after you leave. Not a whole lot. Maybe like 30 minutes to an hour. I'm not sure, but I think that's a great idea. Something that's hard for me when I do shows over and over and over again is that I'm already thinking in my head whether what I'm doing right now is better or worse than what I did before. Because right now, I think this session right now is not as good as the one prior. So it makes me feel like, oh, I just wasted a bunch of time. And I know that's not something that's supposed to be, that's not true at all. Wasting time is kind of like, I don't know. That's not the right word. That's not the right terminology. Because half the reason I do this stuff, that I make these videos, is for me to be satisfied with them, for me to say, wow, like I did something, I want to get that enjoyment that you guys might hopefully get. But, that's not always the case, that's not always, I don't know, man. It's just, that's not always how it works. I'm always just trying to make rules, to think. I think that's what I'm bad at. I think that's what I'm really bad at. I make rules and logic to things that it makes no sense. That's how my world works. I focus on things that make no sense. Why am I focusing on this? Why does it matter? Life goes on. Something I really need to start focusing on is whatever's happened before, whatever I feel like I did wrong, or I feel like I could have done better, to forgive myself and just focus on whatever's next. Move forward. Keep moving forward. Like that one Disney movie that everyone hates, but everyone seems to talk about on the internet because there's some redeeming value to it. I don't know, whatever. But keep moving forward. Because, life's just going to have hiccups. You have friends one day, you lose friends the next. You have dreams and ambition one day. You end up getting depression next. Like life is so vulnerable, I think, what was it? Someone made a really good analogy. That's just like, life is just like a clay, you're trying to make a vase and it's like, there are cracks and seeps, like those things start to develop with time. And we can mend those cracks, but that, it takes a lot of time to heal. It's not a simple thing. It takes time, One day is not enough to solve all your problems, if any. But you do it. You attempt it. And if you fail, then hopefully you have tomorrow. If you succeed, great. Be proud of your accomplishments, of your achievements. It's just one of those things that I'm still trying to figure out about myself. Things and ideas. You know what I just learned recently? I learned that song, Country Road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. It's not about West Virginia. It's about Virginia. What the heck? How can you make a song? I'm pretty sure West Virginia existed when that song came out, but they said West Virginia, but they didn't mean West Virginia. They meant west of Virginia. And it's like, what the hell? What is going on here? Why am I being played? Why am I being trolled? I feel like there was a scene. There's an American Dad episode too, where he took a bunch of people to West Virginia, but the song was not about West Virginia. What is going on? What is life about, man? You see, that's just life. I don't know. I just got distracted there. I should not get distracted during these sessions. These 30 minutes are super duper important. I don't know if they're important or not, but I guess that's it. That's a good, that is a good idea I just came up with. I think each session, that may or may not happen, just talk about what these 30 minutes mean. So what these 30 minutes mean, this 30 minutes when I get ready to record, it's not meant to have a plan. It's not meant to have things that I'm ready to talk about. It's supposed to get the ball rolling, the water flowing, If I come up with great ideas during this session, great. If I hit record and nothing happens, if I end up not recording anything, then it's like, okay. That's just how it is. I just want the ball rolling. I want that water flowing. I want those churning of ideas. I think it's great to get ideas out. And then also, which is, it's bad. It's bad because I took out my phone twice. The point of this session is also to not have technology inspire what I'm going to say or do. I want ideas in my noggin to come out. That is what I want. I want my ideas. I want to start having more natural ideas. And I guess what that means is that I want, because something that I'm learning with, AI is a big one, is that our ideas can start having less meaning if we want them to be. If the thing about humans is we evolve a lot. We evolve. I'm telling you, probably 10 years ago, if a device like this came out, if something like this came out 10 years ago, and I was trying to use it without any use of a smartphone at all, I would not have been able to figure half the stuff out. What? You unlock the phone by swiping up? What the heck? How does that make any sense to anyone? Stuff like that. But we evolved. We evolved to have these huge hunk of bricks in our pockets. You know, something I love about this device is director's view. I use that a lot, actually, where it records the front camera and it also records the back. It gets my reaction and it gets what's going on live. That is amazing. That type of technology, like we evolve so much. And now the next thing with art is that now we don't have to make art anymore. We don't have to. We can have people do it for us. Well, not even people. We can have code doing it for us. We don't need to come up with crazy ideas anymore. We don't need to be original anymore. It's not like we were being original, you know, with YouTube and Instagram, like all these social medias. It's just about copying trends. That's what gets them the most money, is when the same thing is being talked about over and over again. Because if you're interested in this particular topic and 50 people are talking about that topic, you're more likely to like keep watching it because you're so interested. So that original ideas are not being encouraged anymore. Art, you don't have to make art anymore. You could just type a few things on a keyboard and then art is made for you. We are losing less meaning with art. You know, we are not valuing what is in here. And I feel like the more I talk to myself, the more I figure out what it is that I want to say or that I am passionate about, the more I can just figure out, okay, this is what I want. This is, if I make it, I'll be proud of myself for having made this. You know, there are things that I've made in the past that I am extremely proud of, that I love the fact that I made it, but I'm the kind of person that needs to keep doing that. I need to keep doing more and more. I haven't done it for years, and I'm hoping that I eventually do it. I'm hoping that I can sit down for at least 30 minutes to talk about what it is that's important to me. I struggle to express what is important to me. And that is why I keep doing YouTube. That is the only reason I keep doing YouTube, is because I want to make things that are important to me. And I want to share them with someone who may or may not get impacted by that. I don't know if anything that I've ever made has impacted people, but I keep hoping that that is a reality. I really like that. That means a lot to me. It really does. No cap. So as we have 2 minutes left on the clock, I guess we have to conclude. That's the word. So I guess I will conclude with saying to you, Melvin, if you look back at this, Melvin J. Gomez, understand that you are just a person and you can only do so much. Like, you want people to like you. That's very important. You have a lot of likable qualities, but that doesn't mean people will just like you. People will just gravitate towards you. Having people gravitate towards you works in specific scenarios. If you're trying to develop a connection, your only real solution is to be yourself and to hope that other people will like you. That's really the truth. And it sucks because that completely depends where you grew up on. It really depends. It's completely RNG. It's random. Maybe if you grew up in a different city, in a different school, the things you enjoyed then at that school, people would like you more. Maybe theater, maybe in that theater club, all the people are super nice and not bullies, you know, something like that. All you can hope for is that you are genuinely yourself and people like you for it. That's all you can hope for. You can't fake it. You really can't, you know. So take that 25 years of experience and hopefully use it to something really good, okay? I have faith in you, man. You got this. Peace, man. Oh, actually, I got 7 seconds left. All right, come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay. Yay.